Very early on, I saw this jungle gym skiing that was done by the Sweetgrass Productions. These crazy, crazy dudes up in, I think they're in Oregon, and they're fantastic. And so I got in touch with them and said, like, how did you do this? You know, because I saw this video of them skiing through a jungle, and he was saying one day he was skiing and he was in the snow, and a friend of his took a picture, and when they took the picture, because he was going through over a jump, it looked like he was in the middle of the jungle. You didn't see any of the snow on the ground. So we kind of had this fantasy about creating this jungle gym skiing. And so I thought, when you think you meet Xander on this sort of life-saving mission, when you're being reintroduced to him 15 years later, he's on the top of this tower, and I've always wanted to do a tower jump, sort of free jump in a tower. And so he's up on this tower, he snaps in these skis, and he actually comes down, jumps off this tower, which I think is 380 feet high, and skis down through the jungle. So that was sort of the birth of how do we introduce Xander, and then we thought, okay, and then how do we complete that? How do we get him down to that village down in Salinas? And we thought, okay, let's get this longboard sequence, because we had seen some longboarders now. Vin had sent me some video of some guys going 70 miles an hour on a longboard down the hill in Navarrete.
That day at the tank, that's the real Vin, in the water, with the dump tank. We're throwing water on top of him. He spent the whole day in water, underwater, up and down. So we built this rig underwater in the tank so that he could really ride that bike, and we would pull the bike underwater so the bike performs the action, so Vin can really interact with the water and the bike, because that's stuff that you cannot make up later.
Got it!
Water can be unforgiving when you're below the surface, fully clothed, and waiting for the word action. You know, you're playing by seconds there, and you have to do a whole stunt sequence there. And some of the hardest stuff was actually swimming fully clothed with boots and jewelry and jackets in a turbulent ocean. I had gone down there about 10 years ago, and the president at the time had asked me how he could bring the film industry there, how he could build a film infrastructure. My father at the time was teaching a program at NYU where he was taking inner city kids and teaching them how to become filmmakers. And so the next visit I brought my father, and that summer we started the One Race Global Film Foundation initiative there.
Vin shot his short film here that he directed, and some of the crew that we're using actually had worked in the short film with him, so he's in familiar territory.
What was so rewarding is that all that time, 10 years ago, I had told that president I would bring down a major motion picture. And not only did that come to pass, so many of the alumni from the One Race Global Film Foundation were employed in the movie.